Go ahead.
Okay, now we want to talk a little bit about cutting seams. Seams are a real interesting part of the solid surface industry, and it's something that you master more by doing than by having somebody tell you once you cut a joint like this and they'll always come out. It's like anything, you develop a feel for it. One of the first seams we want to talk about is a wavy edge, which was an edge that really came into prominence back in the, I want to say, late 80s, early 90s.
Right.
With the real oncome of polyesters into the marketplace.
What did the polyesters have to do with it?
Well, the polyesters, the way polyesters work and interact with the adhesives is different than how an acrylic will.
Okay.
The methacrylic acid in the adhesives will dissolve an acrylic, and you get more of a chemical bonding. The big example I always used to use when I taught classes was I used to build model airplanes and boats when I was a kid, and I was forever getting too much glue on my airplanes. Well, the glue would melt half of it.
Yeah, right.
Or the boat, it would melt half of it. It would just all melt up.
Did you get a little on your nose
That's
too?
right. That's right. So it was the glue interacting with the plastic and dissolving it and causing a fused bond.
So is that what they were talking about, like acid in the 80s? Was that what
I
most
can't
people
remember.
meant? No.
I can't remember.
All right,
I
let's
worked
get on
with
with
this
here.
stuff for a long time. But the polyesters are far more resistant to acids and alkalis.
Okay.
So how the adhesive interacts with the acrylic is completely different than how it interacts with the polyester. So it became important to come up with some additional strengthening factors in the joint. One of the products that was developed, and we'll show it to you right here, is a wavy bit. And as you can see, it's got a slight wave into it, and it cuts that wave into the vertical wall face.
Right.
So instead of having just a straight vertical wall, it's a wavy face. What that allows for is more surface area, which more surface area gives you more bonding surface, which means you'll get a stronger joint.
Okay.
So
See, I never knew that. I mean, I always really figured that, it was just a gimmick to line it up, but it actually had function.
Benefit, though, it does also line it up.
Yes.
By rotating it, you line your two sheets.
And I learned something today from Ken. I've had so many customers tell me that this is just a nuisance to set up. Ken set this up absolutely perfect the first time, and he showed me how you do it. And I still don't believe it was anything other than luck, but he kind of showed me how it you get the router bit on the high face, so it's in a straight up position when it's making the cut, and then they both interlock. And actually, as you'll see in this joint that we're going to do, they came out perfect. It was really kind of cool.
We're going to take and we're going to run it on this edge right here.
Now, which edge did we run here? How do we know which one's high and low?
We really don't, but not that that's really important.
Well, it is, because if this is high and you put a low one on here, it won't match this one when we turn it around.
Oh, you want me to do it that way for you?
I want to be able to mate together. We did one before the show, a sample.
And it works perfect.
And it worked out perfect. But we just wanted to show you a cut just because we know you like to see things work and make them go. So, but we don't know which side this is because we didn't pay attention. Oh, I know which side it is.
Scratch.
We can tell because the scratch.
This is the high side. This is the high side.
Right, because we have a
So I'll do the low
up.
side on this side.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
so very simply what we'll do.
Here's your straight edge.
If you got my two, let's
use
do
that?
this so we don't
Okay.
scratch up the aluminum.
All right. Okay.
You want to grab two Danny clamps real quick?
Danny clamps or the solo clamps?
Or I'm sorry, the solo clamps.
Solo
they come
clamps
from
from
Danny,
Danny.
so yeah, I call them his.
All right.
We already have this preset to where we'll line up our straight edge here real quickly. Perfect. And we'll do this. We'll merely use our solo clamps. Once again, we'll just check real quick.
Now, which way are
that's
you running
perfect.
with this so we can have the camera?
We'll run the camera, or we'll run it this way.
Okay.
Okay. So quite simply, and what I'll do is, if you'll just plug that in for me.
I will.
I'll take and I'll run it from a reverse direction so they can video this a little bit better. Now this is backward than how you want to run the router, but I'll go ahead and do it, make catching this easier.
Make it go faster, Ken. by the way, before I forget, I want to thank Formica Corporation for donating all our sample material for the show tonight. They carry a full line of solid surface materials. You can check out their website at formica.com and see all the new patterns available. But they gave us several sheets of different colors to use on the show, and we just want to say thanks. Okay, now, if we did this right, you'll be able to turn that around.
Of course, if we did it wrong.
Right.
And
you did it wrong.
We did it wrong. All right. Actually, if we did it right, we'll turn this around.
There you go. All right.
And
those will mate together
beautiful.
perfectly. Okay. Now, what we actually have here is a wave that comes together. So the high point and the low point meet each other, interlock, and as this is drawn together, these can't go up and down at all. So they match perfectly on top. So that it's a way that's still done. It's been around for a long time. There's some other techniques that we'll show you that will do the same thing, but
yeah, no, it definitely is one of a kind.
Okay.
It is definitely one of a kind.